At long last, allow me to show you the power of Super Saiyan 4!
Yo, what's up guys, Rakuin here for another Dragonball Legends video, and today we're gonna do my top 10 for the start of August, I would say. Yeah, or the Summer Fest campaign, however you want to call it, start of the Universe Reps, with the Tag Golden Freeze Ender 17 as the new unit. And as always, I don't own every single character here on this list necessarily, and consider Legends characters more like around 5 to 8 stars, and LF characters around 10 to 14, and Ultras also at 5 or 8 if I own them. So yeah, we're gonna start with the list, starting with number 10 being Ultra Hit. Ultra Hit is in, I think, Z tier. Obviously his time skip is really crazy because it's one of the things Vegeta Blue could, if he get caught, could get killed by that. That would be very nice if you catch Gohan and Trunks. Budo, I'm not sure about that one. I personally don't have a lot of experience fighting against Hit, but I think time skipped in a Z tier boost and that you can run with Golden Frieza 17 and then some third character. I think that works, so I think Ultra Hit deserves to be on the list, but I would only put it at number 10. I mean, this is a new blue character, so that hurts Hit as well as the Budo existing as well. And if he gets hit by a Spirit Bomb, for example, it's not gonna look too well. On top of not having what was the word again? Blast armor, for example. Yeah, sorry. So he has some weaknesses. I think he is, but okay right now. Maybe next week if we get something new for the Universe Rep tag, that could actually look significantly better. But yeah, Ultra Hit, number 10. Not much to say about this guy. I think he's solid. Let's move straight to number 9. We have, in my case, Blue Rosé. I think we're shifting away a bit from his best team, which is the Blue-Blue-Yellow team. And I think without that team, you notice how significantly weaker he hits, as well as how worse he takes. He's a pre-anniversary character, so in comparison to the other units, far less damage guard and damage as a starting point. So, while I do think, yeah, this is still a cool dual ship, for example with the yellow Goku Black, I think at this point you notice him falling off. As well as if you have like Tag Golden Frieza and Android 17 and you use their, let's just say he combos them 3 times and then they switch out. He loses 100 ki, he doesn't get any ki back, his combo is over. He has no way to combo extend, especially because people play, for example, them with Broly. So Blue Rosé has troubles to get his full gauges, which gives him the Type Neutral Blue card or Ultimate, which he needs to deal against the green units that exist. Especially this combination, I think this is one of the teams you can see in PvP, Broly, Android 17, Golden Frieza and the Blue Duo. I'm gonna call it an MVP duo, alright? So yeah, the MVP duo, Broly and the Blue Duo. Sometimes if you switch from this guy to this guy, this unit can't do anything. It's really tough for this character, in my opinion. The only nice thing I would say that still exists for him is the fact that he has buff cancellation on standby for in case you want to support UVB to be safe. Although I would say at this point, I think you can even run this character on the team with UVB, for example, and get the same result out of that because he's also supporting buff cancellation on standby. So I just think Blue Rosé loses more his relevancy, unfortunately, but he had a good run. He survived through the whole anniversary pretty well, which is a good thing. I think he's still a usable character, but I don't think he's as crazy as he was before. Yeah, nonetheless, fun unit, and also we have another green, so that hurts him, and they have an and though it's still blue, not an ultimate, so that hurts him a bit. If you don't run in the yellow Goku Black, that could sometimes be a trouble. So yeah, Blue Rosé at number 9. Number 8, I have Shallot. Now technically speaking, because we have another blue unit, he gains value, but my problem with him is that for one, I think the Spirit Bomb isn't as much as your biggest priority anymore, which is why Queen Shallot had also some strong points of being considered used more often, because that's one thing. I just think Golden, Frieza, and 17 kind of provide the same thing he does, but better. Like, you run them on leader slot on, like, the best team of Shallot was obviously the pure fusion setup. You could always discuss that you could run in place of Shallot, Broly, who's a better re-character. But now I think you can make even an argument to run Gold and the MVP duo here. Slap in Green God Key, I think the Green Kalkin Goku or God Topu on there, who buff Saga, so give them a Zenkai buff. They have the buff cancellation on standby, they are green as well as blue, so they have more colors to help. They give you immunity 3 times to attribute downgrade, so it helps to combo as well as, and that's really important, and that has an issue for Shallot, against abnormal conditions. And the only abnormal conditions in PvP right now is Shallot's Feint. So 3 times your whole team is immune. I think every single one of them, of your team units, is 3 times immune to Feint. So feinting from Shallot is almost irrelevant if you're fighting against this unit, and that's his strongest gimmick. So that hurts him quite a bit. And at that point, it's okay, he provides green cards, which is nice. That's one strong point, but then it's just support, buff cancellation, and subcount reduction against big moves, and I think they have the same, but obviously far better support. They have, again, double colors, so can help against the enemy Vegeta Blues or Gogetas, as well as against the Budo, for example, and tank better. So I think Shallot gets simply said replaced on his best team, as well as countered with the new release for his strong gimmick. So he is kind of this, yeah, you can run him, but it's nothing crazy. But I think he is still color-wise and everything a bit better right now than Blue Rosé to me, at least in my opinion. I think they both have a very similar role. I think his offensive abilities in terms of being immune to stuff sometimes can be better for Blue Rosé, but at this point I think just the greens hurt this character more than Shallot get hurt by the newer units. Like we have some blue units, him included, and if the only real threat to him color-wise is Gohan and Trunks if you see them. So yeah, I would say this is not horrible for Shallot, but also not the greatest. I think the immunity to Feint would be an argument maybe to put him lower, but I think the fact that he still provides green cards for Vegeta Blue and Gogeta to have more type neutrality or counters is a bit more useful right now than Rosé. Because I think Rosé is some unit you want to use. Like if Rosé isn't really, you don't use Rosé, you're losing a lot more than if you're not using Shallot in the background. You know what I mean? So that's my thing. And he can also have immunity to card destruction and stuff with his green card, which is a lot better. So yeah. Shallot, number 8 here. Moving down to number 7, Gohan and Trunks. I think they got obviously better. I think the fact that they're purple, they're only purple right now, so against Broly, especially because people run Budo, Broly, and the MVP duo, having a purple character like Gohan and Trunks is very useful against that team. Generally speaking, because they don't have another purple, this is the best purple in the game, so I see a lot of value in them. They still have the weakness of the Vegeta Blue, they occasionally just destroy, not occasionally, but every time he faces them, he could just very much tear them apart very fast. The Budo Spirit Bomb can hurt this character still quite a bit, but I personally think the stuff they provide still is useful enough to consider them at number 7. Having the rush ceiling, Dragon Ball gaining very fast. I'm, for example, still using this trio right here. Yeah, if I'm not using the Budo, I'm using them to farm fast Dragon Balls, have the Endurance Null blue card that can cancel the Endurance Null. If you get caught, then catch the enemy after and then rush, they don't have any way to deal with the Endurance. So that's very strong for this character. But other than that, nothing much else to say. Their damage is not like the highest in the game or anything. And I think also a very strong point is that they have a tech switch. And the reason why this is important is if you're fighting this character and they have to take 3 hits, they're gonna swap out, you will have 0 ki, and especially if you switch into Broly, you can't switch. But if you tech switch, you get ki back. So being a tag character actually helps them out there against their disrupt. So that's really nice, as well as they don't have actually type neutral defense before they get hit first. So if you manage to catch them in their green color with a blue card, like a raw blue, and they don't have type neutral, you could very much have some situation where you can kill this character, which is obviously strong. So yeah, Gohan Trunks, very good, very solid. Yeah, moving down to number 6, I have Yellow Goku Black. Yellow Goku Black last time was a bit, quite a bit lower than last time, but it was mainly because I've seen so much double red teams being ran, and I personally, this is my opinion, if you're fighting double reds and your yellow character has barely offensively type neutral, it's not that great. I know he has type neutral defensively, so he's not gonna die to them quickly, that's not what I'm saying. He's a very good tank. I never said his abilities were bad because of it, but sometimes, if you're in a situation where you, for example, lose one of your characters and then you have this character, and as well as, I don't know, let's just say you're running this through and you're losing Blue Rosé. Alright, okay, cool. So you have the Budo and Yellow Goku Black against a double red team and a green unit. It's very, very, very tough to make a comeback out of this because your unit barely has any way to attack the other red characters. So that was my reasoning for having him in lower, but I think we're moving a bit away from the double red team. You're seeing a double blue team existing a bit more. I think you could, for example, run Broly, Yellow Goku Black, and then, for example, the MVP duo here. So that's a thing. Or blue, you can run this character there. So I see the team combinations you can run with Yellow Goku Black still. He's not as reliant on Blue Rosé. That's a good thing. He's the only yellow character in the game. He's a very good tank, a very good disruptor. And I think he does a solid job in what he needs to do. So I'm keeping at number 6. I think he's really good still, which I'm glad at least one of the two who got an unique equipment during anniversary is doing well, because I think him, I would say even more him than Broly, deserved to be really good, because he was a Legends Fest Part 1 headliner and got massively countered and shafted throughout his own campaign, which I to this day think is very crazy. But yeah, Yellow Goku Black, number 6, very, very good. Number 5, I have Gogeta Blue. Yeah, so here's the problem for him. While obviously the double red team, I think you can still run that team. I don't think it's got destroyed now or anything, because they exist. Like, even though people run this trio here and you have 2 blues, I don't think it does completely negate the double red team. Problem is, if you're not running double reds, which like I said, it's run significantly less, in my opinion. At least that's what I'm facing. I see this team in comparison to before a bit less. If you're seeing this team way less, why would you run Gogeta over Vegito? The answer is you don't. And which is exactly why I personally said from the very beginning that this guy's equipment is a terrible choice. Because if you're not running the Fusion Warrior team, which is the main reason it's helping anybody, you're running this character over Gogeta as well as Gohan and Trunks, who were their headlining red characters in their anniversary. And he replaces them both on their best teams. Like, if you were to run Future, you would run Vegito. If you were to run God Key, you would run Vegito. If you beat a red character on Saiyans, you would run Vegito. So him getting basically outcast from all his other tags, as well as only having them basically double red teams left, is kind of annoying, because if you're not running double reds, Gogeta is used less in comparison, because this guy has far more type neutral, and is therefore, that can't be cancelled by the way, so this is far more offensively threat for everybody. And yeah, he has a status 4 still, which is nice. I'm not saying he's bad now, that he's still in the top 5, but it's not as you need him if you're not running a double red setup. That's kind of a problem, so I can't put him higher. Like, it's not that he's like this crazy unit right now. He's good, but he's not that crazy unit in comparison to like Vegito. So what do you want me to do? On top of that, we got a new blue character that's very nice. So yeah, not much to say. If he gets a green card inside Pucho, he can do some work. He has Vanish Regainer still through combos. Again, he's still a good character. And at number 5 doesn't mean he sucks or anything. It just is what it is. What can I say? Kinda a problem they created with Vegeta Blue. I wish that's why I said Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta would help the Fusion Warrior attack more. There's a color that they need. Would be better. But hey, Legends have their own decisions. So yeah. Yeah. Gogeta Blue. Number 5. Number 4, I have the Blue Duo. I'm gonna be real honest. I was very uncertain where I would place them. I was debating between number 3 and number 4. Obviously, Spirit Bomb is still very nice. I think we now have another character who could potentially tank the Spirit Bomb, potentially. So that's a bit of a minus. On top of obviously also being a green, that's generally speaking bad for the Blue Duo. But I don't know. I was very torn apart on everything where I should place them. I still think they're very good. Sometimes Vegeta Blue can just be a big hindrance to them, but to be fair, that's to everybody. So again, I think if they have the teams, they're really good. You can swap them to number 3 if you want to, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't have much to say about them, to be brutally honest. Like, I don't think that they are necessarily completely hurting this character, because again, this is a new team you could run, and that's a positive for them. So it's not a minus and a plus for them, because they have some things against them. So it's really not changing much. On top of them being attack character, so if they switch out, they're getting key. They're also getting key if you switch, so that helps them, on generally speaking, to get more combos against the MVP duo going. So yeah, and you have the Spirit Bomb, which is just, unfortunately, again, it takes longer in comparison to, for example, Vegeta Blue's ultimate, but it's still a very strong mechanic. And if you hit, for example, the blue side of this character, or Broly, whoever you want to take, you can still do tremendous of damage. So I think I'm gonna keep it at number 4, but yeah, seems very good to me. Number 3, I have Yoden, Frieza, and 17, or how I said I would call them, the MVP duo. I think they're very good. I think they still hold back to the fact that there is not the perfect team, or at least I think there's a team that the Legends team is envisioning that these guys get in the future that isn't there yet, which is why they're not as crazy as you want them to. But I think for the fact that they don't have a Survival Saga team, or an LOE team, or Androids team, they found their homes right now. So I think that's a very good thing. Like, again, you can run these 3 together. I personally thought maybe you could run Broly, Yellow Goku Black, and this. I don't think that's gonna be a bad choice. So like, I see definitely the team options. I think their ability to remove your key is very good against Vegeta Blue. So it's like very, very helpful. I unfortunately don't own this character because I don't have any CC, but otherwise I would have been more confident on this placement. This is me just based on how I face them. They seem very good. They have a lot of support, which 30% support, I think, if they get crit 3 times and switch out, that can't be cancelled, is very, very nice. On top of their own support, on top of them having 2 very good colors against the Blue Duo as well as against UVB. I don't think their tanking is as crazy as I thought it would be. I thought like 70% reduced damage received against big moves would be a bit more noticeable, but it's not. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I'm not saying that they're still tanking trash against big moves, but I thought that would tank a bit more better than I envisioned them to tank it better than it ended out to be. But I still think Not regardless, good support, good utility. I think this is a very good character. I don't know if number 3 is the right choice here. It's between number 3 and number 4. We could honestly, for the sake of me not knowing, we could make this a shared spot. I think that's fine. Yeah. I'm not very certain who is here the better choice, but I think they're very, very good. They have a very good solid team or teams you can run. Even if you're running the double red team, you could slap them in there, have the God Topo on your bench, their Zenkai buff, get a Zenkai buff, they're supporting, disrupting, very, very good. So, and the immunity to attribute downgrades on your whole team is also very nice, because in case you're fighting the Budo or UVB, the first cards you use, you can use them without worrying about cost increase. So that's very nice. So yeah. Yeah, the MVP duo at number 3 here. Very, very cool and clean animations. Although I've never seen their left before out in the game, like fighting against me. But yeah, very good character. Number 2, I have Green Broly. He got better with the MVP duo, because he's a green character against them, as well as just being a green character getting a new team. So if anything, he gained more value. I think last time I had him number 3 or number 4. I'm not sure about which one, but he is the best answer to stopping UVBs, because he's sealing mains and therefore his ultimate, which is very, very annoying still, and if he has full unique gauge, he can stop his combo. So on top of that, this combination of these two together is very, very strong disruptive ability, because he's locking you in. So on top of losing a key, your enemy has to either pop the main or tag switch, or just stop the combo sometimes. So this is a strong combination here, especially against the Budo, which is why I think the Budo is more of a 4 than a 3 unit, because if they are together and they swapped against Budo, they kinda hurt this character to combo quite a bit, which this is the difference. Like, the Budo wants to combo to get their Spirit Bomb. If they can't do that, that's a bit of a nuisance that some other units don't have. So yeah, but Broly, I still think he does the same thing he always does: disruption, main and rush stealing, some good blue card damage with the counter gauge, sometimes being very good to control the field, has a very good color because besides gold trunks you don't have a purple. So yeah, I think he's the number 2 unit, just based on how good of a and necessary unit he is. I think in comparison to, for example, the Budo, yeah, they have the Spirit Bomb, but I wouldn't say the Budo is like the most necessary unit. I think Broly, because of Vegito, kinda is. So yeah, Broly, number 2, very good. I don't know how good he's gonna age, because again, he's a unit with a defense type unique gauge. So the more units get more damage, the harder it is for him to tank, which could mean he would age badly, but right now he's still very good. So yeah, and number 1 obviously is BUVB. Shockers. Still has the most dumbest damage in the game, because he has so much consistent type neutral, no one can really tank him, which is fun. Legends, it is fun. It was a good choice. Yeah. I don't want to talk about this character, bro. He does too much damage. He's type neutral against his ultimate. You can defend against this. He's the best character in the game anyway. Who cares? Sorry, don't want to talk about this unit. You all know he's the best character in the game. I don't need to explain that to you. And then, in case you're wondering why I have Cell here, I don't know. I never seen that team before, but I thought maybe this trio could be a potentially runnable team, so I put them in the honorable mentions lists. But that's it. I really don't know if this is anything, because I don't own the character, unfortunately, to test that, and I never seen that team, so we will never know. But yeah, that's my top 10. Let me know what you guys think about my list here. As always, if you agree, disagree, write in the comments, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and see you guys in the next one. Bye!